we used to have some point-to-point interactions, like I'm connecting up Oracle e-business suite with PeopleSoft or Siebel or SAP. They used to connect point to point. Okay, so a lot of connectivity, so a lot of efforts were going wasted in connecting those applications. Huge effort were needed. Okay, and if one more application comes into the picture, what we used to do, we used to again connect that application with the another application. So again, a lot of efforts were there, and maintainability was meant to maintain them. It was very difficult to maintain them. Okay, because again, if something comes up, you have to again add it one more application and connect it to other systems. So this was an issue, and integration effort were n square because end-to-end connectivity was there. Then comes your hub and spoke type of architecture, where one system used to work as a hub and another system used to work as a spoke. Okay, so at least the integration effort were reduced. But what happened? Again, we had a single point of failure there, because if hub fails, every system used to fail. There's no connectivity in between if hub was failing. So that was an issue again. So later on, what happened is people came up with an idea of Oracle SOA suite. Okay, which is basically what? It's basically a strategy. Okay, what it does for develop and integrate systems through some standard-based services. Okay, some standard-based services were used to integrate your applications. Okay, so why we go for what is SOA? What exactly it does? It provides a basic, benefit. What is the benefit is? It provides us a reuse of functionality across different organizations. Reuse in the sense, you can expose a function. You can write a function and expose that function as a service, and that function can be called by any application. So it's not needed you are connecting it point to point. You are exposing the function as a service, and that can be called by any of the service, any of the application. So what was the benefit here? The benefit was there was no tight coupling. Okay, because any service, if you are exposing, it can be called by anyone, first of all. And the interaction, the integration of the systems, the business systems, follows a standard-based approach. Okay, so what we can call it's an IT strategy, basically, which what it does, it modifies or it organizes your application into an standard-based services. Okay, which can be which we can call from a different application, so that those are getting integrated. So if we go into further slides, why it is needed, why we go for an SOA approach, because we had earlier ones. Okay, so it provides us different benefits. Those benefits are, first of all, reusability. Okay, which is calling a service, okay, is decoupled from the service provider. So there is no tight coupling in between. So okay, this service has to be consumed by this consumer only. No, this is not hard and fast rule. And the business processes, whatever the business process we have, are decomposed into some reusable functional component. We call them a service. Service in the sense, let me give you an example of service. How there is a service which is used, like I've written a Java program. What it does, it validates your credit card. When you give an input, it validates your credit card and gives the output whether it's a credit card is validated or not. Now what we do, I'll write this program, I'll expose this as a web service, and now any of the consumer can call it. just to validate the credit card, whether this credit card entered is valid or not. Okay, wherever you are swiping your credit card, any place, from there the request will go to this. Okay, they'll verify whether it is valid or not. Anywhere. So reusability, scalability. Again, scalability in the sense applications are flexible enough, can be modified easily to change this requirement. Okay. Then cost efficiency. We find a lot of cost efficiency in the sense integration effort in integrating it point to point are reduced by significant margin as you are using a reusable services. That's why your cost is also reduced. I'm talking about general SOA approach here. I have not talked anything about Oracle SOA Suite till now. Why SOA approach is required? I'm talking about that part. So when we just now talk about service, what exactly service is, so there are various ways to implement the services we can call. Okay. So if you look at the earlier one, it was point to point, so integration was there, so this approach was less flexible. Okay. So your proprietary implementations. The second one is a vendor specific implementation. So there is something called technology called Tuxedo, which some of you might be knowing, which is out of the scope of this course basically, but that is called vendor specific implementations. The last one is basically the one which we are going to use, web services and now SCS style implementations. What it does, it uses standard way of communicating. Standard way of communicating in the sense it uses XML and web services. What is XML? Here XML is generally a markup language which is generally used in it works as an input and output to any web service. A message. Okay, it's a markup language. It works as a message. And then your services accept XML as an input and XML as an output. So if you look at what we discussed about services. So how we can define services? You can see services here. This is your client. Send the request here, gets back the result. Okay. What we do here, we use extensible markup language XML for the request response. Okay. Here, XML. What is XSD here? Schema. Schema is basically used for defining your message structure. Your XML should adhere to the XSD, which is called your XSD. So this a message which goes to call the service should adhere to this XSD. Pretty sure we call it as. So the benefit of using web services we can call such as Bpel, XSD, and which are basically XML based document. All are XML based document. Be it Bpel, be it XSD, be it an XML itself. So XML has become a language of internet, as you know, because which is used to send requests to the services and get back the result from there. And we can call services as a building block of any SOA application, SOA enabled application.